Okay, welcome back to my channel, Maybe Between the Pages. My name is Taylor, and today we are filming my first video from my just barely put together US shelves. So I've been gone for quite a while, and I'm sure that most of you know why. We moved across the world from Fukuoka, Japan, back to the States. And the transition for these past three and a half weeks has been extremely rough. I'm not comfortable going into too many details on a public platform at the moment, but we are working just through a lot of kinks in the process of getting settled in, but we are making progress. And in the last week or so, I finally feel like I have the spoons to one, reach out to my local community and online community again, and also start reading. I've talked about how on my channel reading tends to be one of the first things that I stop doing when I'm not doing the proper self-care for myself, and this was one of those instances as well. I was scrolling instead of reading, and I'm reining that back in now. I feel like I'm in the right place mentally to be able to do that again. So if you've sent me messages, reached out to me, sent me emails over the past couple months and I wasn't answering, I basically wasn't engaged during the last 2 to 3 months. Right before we left Japan, I was just jogging one day. Of course, it always happens when you don't expect it, but I tore my meniscus, and through that learned that I have something called, I think it's discoid meniscus, that's what it is, which is a rare condition where my meniscus, the bones that hold the meniscus in place, have a discoid shape, not a donut shape to hold it in place as it should, which means it's very easy for my knee to pop out of position, which is lovely. We love winning the genetic lottery and getting these rare conditions. But essentially, because of that, the move was a lot more difficult. I am so incredibly thankful for my family, both my Japanese side of the family and my parents. My parents came to Japan to help us move, and if they hadn't have been there to help do the heavy lifting, the literal heavy lifting that I couldn't do suddenly, because when your knee goes out, you can't do anything. I was stuck on the couch. It was infuriating and frustrating. But my family pulled through, and through their incredible level of support, I was able to heal a lot quicker than we expected because I didn't have to push myself physically as much as I would have without them. So the move did happen successfully. Basically, our entire livelihood is on a boat that is making its way to us. It's going to take another month or month and a half for it to arrive. So the books that you see behind me are books that I had in storage here in the States. There is still more in storage, but I took a little bit out at a time. I wasn't quite sure how much would fit on my shelves. So that's the other thing. This is a very dark setup, much darker than I expected. There is no overhead lighting right now in this room, and it's in a corner that no natural light hits. The natural light hits over there, but not here. So I got this smaller ring light because I thought, this will be enough while my big one makes its way over to me on the boat. Dear readers, it is not enough, I'm noticing right now. It is struggling to get enough light on these shelves. So this setup is going to improve drastically once the boat arrives, but in the meantime, we're just gonna have to do whatever we can do here because I'm not gonna buy an entire new setup when I have one coming to me. So we're going to little by little try to make this better in the interim. But for now, this is what we're working with. So maybe this isn't the best video to film in this not so good lighting, but I wanna open my books. So today we are doing an unboxing. I have several books that have arrived in the States while I was gone. All of the Kickstarters that I backed over the last 2 to 3 years came to this address because the shipping to Japan was insane. So I had them shipped to my US address, and they've been waiting here for me. So I have at least one Kickstarter. I have one unknown box that I'm very excited to open. I've got one Folio Society box, a broken binding box, and I think it's Words of Radiance from Dragonsteel from the Kickstarter. So even though the lighting isn't the best to show off those books at the moment, I want to open my books and I've been waiting to film this to do it, so we're gonna do that. Okay, so just as I was about to start, Sumire came in and wanted to go take a look at the tomatoes and the parsley that we planted, so I went and did an outside tour. And when I came back up, I realized that my fan was going, so let's try this again, shall we? And hopefully the fan in the last clip wasn't too bad. So let's start with the one I have on my shelf, and that is Gunmetal Gods by Zama Akhtar. If you've been around my channel, you know I love this series. It gives me nightmares in the best way. It is what made me fall in love with cosmic horror. Zamil's work is fantastic. I've been screaming about it for years. So when he launched his Kickstarter, you know I was in. And I have ordered the second book as well, which I think we just got an update, an email update not long ago that it's coming along nicely. But I've seen people with their editions online and it's been killing me because it's just been in the States waiting for me. So let's open this, shall we? I always feel so nervous bringing scissors near books, like nice books. Okay, we've got the shrink wrap open. Oh, the feel of this is already so luxurious. I don't think it's real leather, I think it's faux leather, but it feels, woo! It feels expensive. So here's the dust jacket, not dust jacket, that's not the word I'm looking for, the slip case with all of the tentacly goodness for that cosmic horror touch, and the details in this, oh, it's stunning. All right, then the spine has like a iridescent shine to it, that's nice. Oh my lord, that is gorgeous. I didn't know that these would be, that there would be foil there. Wow. Absolutely stunning. And on the back it says, they took his child. Oh, that's interesting. The dust jacket on the inside is much shorter than they usually are. Like it's folded, like it doesn't go too far into the book. Which I guess, why does it need to, right? This is enough. So the inside flap here says, we are all good men until we're pushed to the edge. Then you either die a good man, or the good man and you dies. Which is very indicative of this series. And the other inner flap says, faith runs out as gold does, and nothing replenishes both like victory. Again, it feels so luxurious. Oh my god. So the outside says they took his child, and then on the back here it says he'll take their kingdom, which was one of the first taglines I ever heard for this book. There's a siege. That's a huge part of this. So here's the end paper for that, and the back end paper. Wow, and the chapter headings, oh my god, Zamil, look at this. Okay, so they've got double color blocking. Wow, all of them are that ornamental. This is gorgeous. And I think there was some art as well. Oh yeah, here's one. My first thought when looking, oh, there's glare. It's very glossy art paper, but my first thought of looking at this like reminds me of like Rasputin from Anastasia. The color scheme just reminds me of that for some reason. I don't know why. Okay, we'll do one more art sneak peek. Wow, this is a stunning book. It's truly a deluxe edition. Like, you are getting your money's worth with this Kickstarter. I'm so happy to finally have this in my hands just in time for the second one. Like I said, I think it's coming along well, so I will proudly display this. If you haven't read the Gunmetal God series, I highly recommend it. With each book, the cosmic horror element increases. So the first book does have it, but less than the later books. The first book is more grim, darky, right? I mean, it's all in a grimdark world, but this one is a bit more familiar if grimdark is like your wheelhouse, you know? Before he goes full-on horror. Like the third book, Elder Epoch, whoo, that thing gave me nightmares. So I highly recommend reading the first book, seeing what you think about it, and if you like those kind of like eldritch horror elements to it, then you'll get more of that later. So let's put this beauty back on the shelf now that she's out of the shrink wrap. Put her here. Might change where she goes, we'll see. So next, let's see. Oh, you can't even see her. She's not even in shot. I gotta change the way I've organized this or set this up. But let's move on to the next one. So the next one is a broken binding package. Now I do believe that this is my most recent subscription book because I changed the delivery address with them before moving. So this was here when I arrived. Now to be fair, like I said, I've been very unplugged from the book world, so I don't remember what the current series is. I mean, I basically don't cancel subscriptions. Oh wait, let me interrupt myself. No, this is not a broken binding book. It must have been put in there for safekeeping by my parents. This is another Kickstarter I backed ages ago. Okay. This is the Advent of Winter. This is an anthology of stories, of indie stories put together by, oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. Put together by Dom McDermott, who is another booktuber. And when I heard who was taking part in this anthology, there's a huge list here of, let's see if I can get to focus, yeah, of indie names of who's involved. So many of these people, I've read their work and enjoyed it, or I know them personally and want to support them. So once I saw the list of people, I knew that I had to back this. And it is gorgeous. Look at the back. We've got foiling, block sprayed edges, and then let's see what the naked book looks like. Ooh, she's pretty, very wintry. The names are also on the naked hardback, which I really like. And then we have this print on the back. I'm such a sucker for like lantern imagery, so something about that calls to me. And then here are some, wow, I didn't know we had art on the end pages. Okay. I'm telling you, Kickstarters, really, they give you your money's worth. Oh, it's the same one, okay. But still, they commissioned art for it. And each short story in the anthology gets a black page for the first page to differentiate between the two. This is wonderful. I love the effort that was clearly put into this and the love that's part of the indie community. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know. Well, you get a bookmark with all the names as well, which is fantastic. And then you get everyone's signature. How did I not know this? This is incredible. Oh, I'm so glad that I backed this. So this is definitely a cold vibes, you know, winter read. I guess it's called the Advent of Winter, so that's not hard to imagine. But I'm gonna save this for when it gets cold out. I feel like it's gonna be perfect for that. But oh my God, what a pleasant surprise. So this beauty is going to go in my to be read pile. Most of the books behind me, possibly one or two exceptions, but almost all of them I have read. Because as I said earlier, this is the collection that I've had for ages. Since I was growing up, I've, you know, developed the collection that I have in the States. So I've read most of these. So I have a shelf that you can't see, it's off screen down here, of books that I would like to read. So this is gonna go there. Okay, next let's do my Folio Society. Okay, this one, listen, I told myself I was on a strict no book buying ban until we kind of got our, you know, our bearings here and had good sources of income and all that, right? But then I saw this on Folio Society and I was like, it can't be helped. It must be purchased. So let me know in the comments down below which book you think this is before you watch and see if you're right. It's a new release from Folio and I knew I had to. I only have one other Folio book, and that is Howl's Moving Castle, and that is on the boat making its way to me. So this is my second Folio, but based on the quality of Howl's Moving Castle. I am so excited to hold this book and see the quality of it. I have very high hopes. They really wrapped this thing up in there. They were taking no chances. Ooh! So did everyone make their guess? Oh, I can see it through the paper. Oh my god, it looks so pretty. It is... Can you tell now? Piranesi. I had to. It is one of my favorite books that I've ever read. I don't think that was proper English, but I read it in 2 sittings. I was obsessed. I couldn't put it down. It had me in tears at the end, and I couldn't explain to you why. It's magical. It's amazing. So, oh my god. So this is the, I almost said dust jacket again, the slip case. Simple on the back, but the front is a cutout. This is a cutout. The birds aren't. The birds are foil. There's the spine. And then let's slide this out. Oh my god. It's so pretty. There's the back. Again, the quality, it just feels so good in my hands. End pages are simple blue. But what really sold me on this and why I knew I had to get it was not just that it was a folio edition, but it was that the color scheme chosen for the art in this book is almost exactly how I imagined it in my head when I was reading it. It's like they took the image out of my head and put it on the paper, and I just knew I had to have it. So here's an example of some of the art. Kind of blue, gray color scheme. Yeah, exactly as I imagined it. Oh, yeah, and they said there was a double page spread. So here's that. Wow. Just stunning. And the thing about folio, because of the quality, I feel like I can actually read these books. They're meant to be enjoyed, so I cannot wait to experience this story again in this format. Oh, yes! I'm so glad that I sprung for this. So she's gonna need pride of place, but I'm not quite sure. Again, clearly this isn't a very good setup yet, so we're just gonna put her up on the top shelf for now, but she will definitely need a front and center spot. Okay, what should we do next? I have one known and one unknown. Let's do the known first. So this is definitely Words of Radiance, the Kickstarter edition. You can see, can you see behind me? Yes, you can. That I have the Way of Kings. And Words of Radiance is my favorite book from the Stormlight Archive. I did a reread last autumn. I never say that, that's weird. Last fall. If you want to hear all my thoughts, my in-depth thoughts about the entire Stormlight Archive up until Winded Truth, please go ahead and check out. I have vlogs of both of those rereads. I will have those linked down below. But considering after the reread that Words of Radiance was still my absolute favorite, then I'm so excited for this. And I think there's a lot in here. I think I didn't pay the most expensive amount, but I'm pretty sure that I got like a higher tier, as it was like my birthday present from my family. So I think I don't remember what was in the higher tier and why I felt I had to have it. So let's open this together because I don't remember anything besides the Words of Radiance. So what's this? Says Dragonsteel, okay. I'm not one for like doodads or, you know, like pins and stuff. Like that's just not the type of collector I am. Oh my god, I cannot get this. There we go. It's just not the type of collector I am. So I would not have gone for a tier with like that kind of extras unless there was something else I really wanted in that tier. Does that make sense? So I really have no concept of what this could be right now. Why is this still not opening? I am Confucian. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay, so it is like all the pins and stuff. So I guess this just, you know, comes with the book, right? So, Dragonsteel Prime pin. Okay, I've got a quite good collection of pins now. Another wit coin. I do like these. I'll look at these coins more in depth, but I do tend to like the coins. I think those are pretty cool. I've got the set of coasters. Coasters are interesting for me because they're cool and I like the art that's on them, but I don't know whether to save them or use them, you know? Oh, this is cool. We have Stormlight playing cards. I definitely, like I said, wouldn't have gotten this tier for this, so it must have just been a fun little extra that I didn't mind getting. But these are cool. Okay, and then this is the giant bookmark that you get with the Kickstarter editions. So we've got Shallan, and this is some pretty cool art as well. I'm sure that there are videos specifically unboxing like this Kickstarter, and I'm really behind, so maybe people don't really care about this, so I'll go a little faster. Next, I have a Windrunner box because I took the quiz and I always knew that I would be a Windrunner, but I am. So I think this is like Windrunner merch. Based on your order, you get, you know, different merch. Yeah, so this is the Windrunner pack. I won't go through it in much detail now. Just quickly, we've got some stickers. That's a really cute one of Syl. I love that. We've got, again, more Windrunner pins, or coins. That's nice. I have to figure out what to do with those. Another pin from the Cosmere collection. Syl, that's cute. Then oh, these are cool. Some charm sets to go on like your keychain. Like, I didn't know that this was all part of the swag bag. And is this a t-shirt? Do you get a t-shirt with this? I guess you do. Oh no, it's a banner. Okay, so I guess it's a Windrunner banner. I'll open that later. Okay, so Windrunner set. Now, I can see where the main books are, and those are coming in a second. But this must be the reason I got this tier. And I don't remember. Oh, I see. Dragonsteel Prime. A Sanderson Curiosity. Once I hoped this book would be the book that made me famous. Today, it is but a curiosity. Fortunately, it's an interesting one. Okay, so I have, you can't see it because it's in the corner here, but I have the Way of Kings Prime from the first one. So I bet you the collector in me was like, let me get the other Prime book in here. Cool, okay, so I went for it. It's a pretty looking book. I guess let's open it. I don't know why I almost put it down and didn't open it. So let's do that real quick. Feels high quality, sturdy. I love the gilding. It's heavy, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a very nice feeling, high quality book. Do I remember what's in it? No. But maybe I'll read the Primes. Maybe I'll do a vlog where I read the 2 Prime books. That would be fun, because I still haven't read The Way of Kings Prime. So, all right, let's get to Words of Radiance. Let's get to the real goodies here. I can't wait. This arrived, I don't even know how long ago now. I got the shipping notification, but like I said, they were all going to America, so it didn't feel like a momentous occasion to me, so I don't really remember when that notification came in. The tab doesn't want to open. Back in the land where packaging works against you, not for you. I don't understand why Japan has mastered the art of packaging and America, no one seems to have mastered it. Why is that a thing? It's got to be on purpose, right? They want to make you work for the product. Oh, she's so pretty. Oh my goodness. I thought it was going to be like a more burgundy red though, so that's interesting. I had a burgundy image in my head. It's more like bright red. But here they are. Let's get them out of the shrink wrap. All right, so the slip case is open. Let's get to the books themselves. Wow. Yeah, I mean, these are stunning. They truly are. I mean, the Way of Kings ones blew me away, so I'm sure the quality is going to be just as good for these. Okay, we've got them open, and they are just as high quality as the Way of Kings. I mean, these are stunning. I'm so excited to have my favorite installment in this series in this version. So the front looks like this, and the back says the ancient oaths have at last been spoken. And volume 2 says the knights radiant must stand again. So I'll take my time to look through these, but the gilding is gorgeous. There's so much art. So we have the original Words of Radiance cover as the end pages, and different covers from all over the world as well. So I'll take my time to go through this art because I'm sure that someone has shown this on camera before. But one of my favorite things about these is the headings here. It just adds so much to the reading experience. All right, I'm gonna take my time and enjoy these later, but they are gorgeous and I'm so happy to finally have them in my hands. Okay, oh, I'm running out of battery. Goddamn, all right, let's do the final one. These are mysteries. I don't know what these are. So, let's do this quickly. God. What is this? You can at least catch my reaction on camera before it dies. What is this? What is this? What is this? I'm so excited. It's like a present from me to me. Oh, something fell out. Oh, this is Rob J. Hayes' series. The God Eater Saga. Oh my God, another Kickstarter. Okay, so this is another one that, again, I got the notification that it's sent. It's taking forever. So it's a trilogy of trilogies. So back to my previous thought. I got the notification that it's sent, but it was coming here, so the excitement wasn't there. But it's a trilogy of trilogies, so it's the first book in the first three. It's the first book in each of the series, and then I'll write the second book and third book and all of that. So, book 1, Deathless. Another book 1, Demon. And the third book 1 from Age of the God Eater, the name of that series, Herald. Wow, that art is stunning. Oh my God, yes, I forgot about these. I love Hayes' writing. I've loved everything that he's written, so I can't wait to get to those. I will show those off in more depth, I think, in a later video, but I want to finish this before my camera battery dies, which is gonna be any second now. Not me realizing right after my battery died that I forgot like 3 books. So I just charged my camera, sat back down, and I'm going to show you these last 3 books. So Editing Taylor, have fun splicing those together. We're clearly not back in the flow of filming yet. But because I am popping back on here, I'll spend a little bit of time showing you the Kickstarter from Rob J. Hayes, and also I put away a lot of the Brando Sando stuff, but I did want to show how cool this one coin is. Like I said, I don't know what to do with the coins, but this one is so incredibly cool. So I think it's Veil on the coin here. If it will focus. I guess it wants to focus on my tattoo instead. Let's try again. Let me try that hand thing that all the real influencers do. Oh my God, it works! That's why people do it, huh? So anyway, it looks like it's Veil. And then the coolest part is the back of the pin is pattern. And it spins. Like this is awesome. I want to do something with this. So anyway, wanted to show that. So let's take a look at the God Eater Saga a little bit more in depth since I'm not racing against a dying battery. I know I need to get more than 1 battery for my camera, okay? I know. For some reason, I insist on torturing myself, and I can't explain it even to myself. But basically, the God Eater Saga, I believe, was that people get magical powers by literally eating angels, murdering and drink. I think it's eating them, or is it drinking their blood? Might be both. So as soon as I heard that, connected with Rob's name, I was like, this is gonna be fantastic. So I backed it immediately. So we get a little bookmark here signed by Rob, and it says, "The future is forged in holy fire." And the back says, "History is written in blood." So as I mentioned, kind of when I was racing the battery there, these are the first 3 books in each of the 3 trilogies. So it's a trilogy of trilogies, and he's writing the first book in each, second book in each, third book in each, which my brain kind of hurts thinking about how you would even map that as an author, but I trust him. So the 3 series are Archive of the God Eater, Annals of the God Eater, and Age of the God Eater. I believe Age of the God Eater is the first one. Don't quote me on that though. But, so this is Age of the God Eater, and this is the big chonky one that we have here. That looks amazing. We love a giant wolf companion. Got black sprayed edges. We have end paper artwork as well. Here. Looks incredible. And then the coolest thing about this is all of the pages are like, they have, I don't know what you call this effect, but they have black around the outside, making it look old, like old paper. And then the actual hardcover has the same style cover as the two smaller books underneath the art. So I'm interested to see, I wonder if like each trilogy is gonna have one that has a dust jacket with art on it and then two smaller books. That'd be interesting. So then these ones have this style cover, no dust jacket. There's the back. Here is the end paper for this one. This is Archive of the God Eater, Book 1 Demon. The back end paper is the same. The next one here is Annals of the God Eater, Book 1 Deathless, and this is our end paper for that. I remember seeing Rob post this art before I left Twitter. I can't believe I just called it X, ew. Before I left Twitter. Yeah, guess that's another thing that I can update everyone on. I left Twitter. I haven't deleted the app, but I haven't gotten on there in like months. So if you're looking to contact me, Twitter is no longer the way. I am more active on Instagram. I'm also on Blue Sky, which is probably where I'll be most active, actually, more than Insta. Blue Sky, and then I'm also on Threads. And all of those links you can find below in the description box. But yeah, not on Twitter anymore. It was a net negative for me near the end there, which is just a shame. Because it was where I really found this core online community in the first place. So anyway, things change, right? We'll find another central location soon, I'm sure. I believe in us. So that was the God Eater saga. Like I said, I love Rob's writing, so I can't wait to dive into that. Looks incredible. And I love the concept, so when I'm in the mood for something dark, I'm definitely picking that up. And then here I have just a dust jacket because my mom is actually reading it because she was interested in it. And that is What You're Looking For is in the Library. I read this for the Only Good Book Club, the private book club that I am a part of. I say that all the time on my channel just in case people don't know, but people are probably sick of me explaining it. But I have a private book club that I just like don't talk about on here, and it's nice to have some reading that is not for content. But I do talk about the books that we read sometimes. And one of them is What You Are Looking For is in the Library. I did not expect to have this book hit me so hard. I'm gonna do a wrap-up of what I've read since I've been here last, so I'll save my in-depth thoughts for that, but I had to buy it immediately. And that is one incredible thing about being in the States, is like, I want an English book, I can just go to a local indie bookstore, or Barnes & Noble, you know, I go indie if I can, and buy it. What a concept. I haven't had that for almost 10 years, so that was exciting. So my mom is reading it, because she really liked the way I described it, so. That's one of the books that I forgot to haul. The next one here is the Broken Binding, what's it called? Sub-book that I thought The Advent of Winter was. So let's go ahead and open this, the Rift War Saga. All of my other Broken Binding books, besides, I think, yeah, I brought the Goblin Emperor. All the other ones are on the boat, so. But the Broken Binding is it's gonna take up a lot of space on the shelf eventually. Woo! Raymond E. Feist, Magician. Look at that. I'm pretty sure that this is Jeff. I know Jeff artwork when I see it. Okay, so for some reason I can't find who the artist is inside the book. I'm sure it's there. I'm just having a hard time locating it for some reason. But editing Taylor, look it up and see if this is Jeff. I'm pretty sure it's Jeff. If not, you can just edit this whole section out. Anyway, this is such an epic, dynamic cover. I love it. I haven't read any Feist, so this is going to be a great format in which to do so. That looks like Asian inspired, the pagodas there. Interesting. I know nothing about this series, like even a little bit. Ooh, it's got wraparound. Oh, there's dragons. That is gorgeous. Look at that, and it is wraparound art. Wow, that is stunning. I am a big fan of that. And then the end papers. 1, 2. And as always, signed. Another gorgeous book from the Broken Binding. I am just eternally grateful that I got on their sub when I did. Now this last one is the one that I'm most excited about, I think, from this entire thing. And that is my Lord and Savior, Ken Liu, reached out to me when I was still in Japan. And he said, hey, do you want my new book? And I said, sir, you don't even need to ask. I would love to have your new book. So I had him send it to my US address because everything was so in flux in Japan, and I'm finally opening it. I don't think it's an ARC. I think it's like a full finished copy. Ken, if this is an ARC and I'm now opening it after publishing date, I'm so sorry. I don't think that's the case though. I don't think so. So let's open this. I'm so excited. It is an ARC. It's not on sale yet though. Oh, thank God. Okay, I've got time. I've got time. So it's All That We See or Seem. And it's coming out in October. So I've got time. Oh my God. Yes, I'm so excited to have this in my hand. Y'all know I'm a Ken Liu stan account. Everything I read from that man touches just a chord in me. Just his writing does something to me. So I don't even know anything about what this is, but I'm excited to get to it. Let's see. Let me look at the back here. About Julia Z, a young woman who gained notoriety at 14 as the orphan hacker, is trying to live a life of digital obscurity in a Boston suburb. Okay, so it sounds sci-fi-esque. I'm just gonna stop there. Of course, there's a whole blurb on the back, but I'm gonna make this a high priority. I am so incredibly honored to be offered an ARC from the man himself, and I have complete faith that I'm going to love this just as much as I love everything else that he's put out. So I'm definitely going to prioritize reading this by the release date, and you will hear me scream about it on the channel, I'm sure. Oh my God, it's got that floppy paperback thing. Superior reading experience. Even as a hardback collector, a hardback girly, I have to admit that the floppy paperback reading experience, there is nothing better. Honestly, getting the opportunity for something like this, to get an advanced reader copy of the new book of one of my favorite authors, is still kind of fever dream-esque to me. This channel is still very, very small, even especially in the scheme of YouTube in general, but even in the small area of BookTube. But the fact that the connections I have made are so genuine and a net positive in my life, and I hope in the other, counterparts' life as well, that's what this is all about. And just filming this right now is reminding me of why I do this, the joy that this brings me. And I'm just so excited to get back to it. So I guess the final message of this first official video back is just thank you. Thank you, Ken, for sending this to me. I am just incredibly honored to have this in my hands right now, but also just thank you to everyone who is here watching, who's engaged with me over any of the years of me making content. It's those connections, it's those moments of community building that keep me going. And I know that this past year, has been the most inconsistent I've ever been on this entire channel. And I've been on here for 5 years now. I just realized that on camera. I think it's 5 years. Holy shit. Yeah, I've been here for 5 years now. And this last year has been the most inconsistent I have ever been. And yet, people have shown me the most kindness. It's just been a year of upheaval for me in both good and bad ways. And where I am now is where I'm going to be settling for a while. Again, I mentioned earlier in the video that I'm not comfortable sharing details really on this public platform right now, but we will be settling in this general area for a while. And that is terrifying for someone who loves to travel and move around and see things like me, but also it does have its own beauty to it. It means that I can really put down roots in ways that I haven't been able to before, knowing that there was always a move on the horizon, So I am looking forward to entering that chapter of my life here, and also that chapter of this online space that I'm in. So I hope you guys will stick around to see what this new chapter brings, see the development of this setup. It even changed between the first part of this video and the last part of this video because I put all the books I opened up on here, so still dark as hell, but we'll work on it. I'm really excited to see what this chapter brings. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and click that bell. I'd love to have you as part of this community, and I appreciate it. But for now, I'm gonna head out. Johnny!